everyone and welcome back to a new video. I don't even know where to begin in this video. I feel like if you've been following my channel for over the past few weeks, few months, then you would know that I was supposed to be uploading more. I was supposed to be uploading like 2 times a week instead of 1, which was something that I really wanted and that I was actually really excited about doing. But unfortunately that didn't really go as planned, and as you might know, in the last few videos I've been blaming my irregular uploading behavior on moving and packing stuff, the chaos around moving houses. But I feel like I just have to be honest with you guys, and especially be honest with myself, and admit that the fact that everything is not going as planned right now it's not just because of the move. So I feel like in this video I just wanted to sit down and have a little open and honest chat about what has been going on, how I'm feeling, and yeah, I just want to be honest about everything, and I just want to get everything out there. And I also have my makeup and stuff in front of me, so in the meantime I'm just gonna get ready, and I guess this is just going to be a get ready with me while I talk about my issues video. So I don't really know where to start, but I feel like the first thing that I have to say, which is what this video is all about, is the fact that I am recently just really struggling with my mental health, which is still just such a weird thing to hear myself say. It's been going on for quite a while, but still I never expected that to come out of my mouth. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people who are struggling with mental health, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just that I did not expect myself to be a person who would ever struggle with that. I feel like I have always been such a strong person, I would say. I mean, I feel like I can definitely say that I've had my fair share of setbacks and things to overcome in life, and it's not always been easy, but the one thing that I always had going for me was my mental health, the fact that I was so strong in everything that I did, the fact that I was so confident that everything was gonna be alright, and it just feels so depressing to not have that feeling anymore and to have lost that part of me. So I feel like it would be best if I just take you back to the beginning. Like I said, I've always been such a strong person. I feel like I am one of the most down-to-earth and grounded people that you will ever meet, or at least I used to be. When it comes to problems and setbacks and issues, I just always step over them so easily. I sweep them under the carpet, and I just don't make a problem out of anything. I was just so emotionally stable. I just always felt fine. And a lot of people are confused about that when it comes to me, because I'm not gonna go into detail about everything, but I have had some things happen to me in the past, and I have had some problems to overcome. I've had a lot of physical problems. It's just not, life has just not always been easy on me, and I know that. The fact that I am so confident in my mental health is just one thing that I really had going for me. That was my strength, and that has always been my strength. So I think it was about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago. It's not really that one specific thing happened, or that it was like a big change that set me off or something, or that triggered me. It's just that I feel like that was a period in my life where there were just a lot of things happening at once. And some of them were good, but a lot of them were also bad. It was probably too much for my head to handle at that time. And of course I didn't know that back then. That is just something that I've came to realize right now. I mean, at that time I just lost my grandmother. My physical health was just not the best at the moment. I had been having quite some issues. I had just started a new relationship with my current boyfriend, and don't get me wrong, I love my boyfriend. He has literally been my rock through all of this. I have no idea how I would have coped with everything without him, because he has been such a support, and I'm so glad that he has stood by my side through all of this. But I had never been in a serious relationship before that, so I was so used to dealing with all my problems on my own and carrying all my trauma on my own, and now I had to open up to someone else, and I had to show some vulnerable sides of me that I didn't even know that I had, and now I also had to share them with someone else, which was really scary for me, and that really opened my eyes to the fact that I was indeed changing as a person. And you know, at that time, something else also happened, which I'm not gonna go into detail about, but it was basically a very big change in a relationship in my private circle. And I think that the part where everything kind of changed for me was when that situation kind of came to a climax, where it really got out of hand. Although it had been a problem for me for a very long time, that moment where everything just kind of came to an end or came to a climax, that was really when I noticed myself being really hurt. Of course, I'd been hurt by that situation before. It was not a nice situation, but when that happened a year ago, I really noticed myself just feeling anxious and stressed and hurt, and I had all these emotions that I didn't really know that were there for me. But looking back at it now, I feel like that is where my mental health struggle kind of began. So over the next few months, I just noticed myself sometimes being a little bit more emotional about stuff than I would expect myself to be, but nothing really big changed. It was just, you know, sometimes I was feeling a little bit down and I didn't really know why, but it wasn't really a big deal to me, I guess. Eventually, I started noticing like big changes that kind of worried me. And these big changes in my emotional stages eventually transformed into me laying in my bed every single night, bawling my eyes out because I just couldn't stop crying. But I had just never really let myself experience real anxiety and stress, so that was so overwhelming for me. I did not know what to do with these feelings. So yeah, I noticed myself having these almost episodes of sadness and depression come over me at like really random times. Like I said in the beginning, it was mostly late at night when I was laying in my bed. After a few weeks or a few months, that just turned into, yeah, like I said, these episodes of sadness and real intense depression at random times of the day. Like sometimes I would just be walking with my boyfriend in the city, or I would be in the middle of a store and I would just get this feeling of grayness overcome me and this overwhelming feeling of wanting to cry my eyes out. Yeah, that is mainly the struggle that I have been having over the past few months. These episodes of depression, which sounds so weird to say. I feel like I am living someone else's life. I know that this can happen to everyone and that everyone is different and that it is also totally okay to have these problems, but it's just really hard for me to admit that it's me who's having these problems. I just never expected it to happen to me. So a few months ago now, I decided to see my family doctor about it, which was quite a big step for me to take because, like I said, I am so used to sorting out my own problems, carrying my own weight, and I didn't feel like becoming a problem to solve, if that makes sense. But then on the other hand, I really got to a point where I felt like I wasn't normal anymore and I really wanted it to go away. And I actually requested for a female doctor, not because I don't trust men, but because I first thought it was a hormonal issue. So I was like, if I see a female doctor, then maybe she will understand a little bit more. She will know maybe a little bit more about female hormones and my cycle and stuff like that. So I requested a female doctor and I got there. I explained my situation. I said, look, I've been having these crazy mood swings. I feel fine and then suddenly I get these episodes of depression and I just cannot stop crying, and it's nothing like me. I don't know what's happening and I feel like I need help. I feel like, I just wanted to go away. I just want to feel like myself again. I felt like she did not handle the situation well at all, and I feel like she was actually quite inconsiderate to me. She basically said, "It sounds like you're just having some mood swings, and every woman with a cycle has mood swings, so suck it up, you're not that special." I just felt awful. I felt like I did not get the help that I needed. I had no idea what to do. So yeah, I just got back home and I just wanted to wait and see if it would maybe go away by itself. But unfortunately, in the meantime, everything just got worse. I don't want to cry in this video. I'm not gonna cry. Suck it up. But yeah, it got quite intense, quite fast. I decided to finally book an appointment with a counselor. But to be honest, I was really anxious about it. Not just because I found it hard to ask for help, but also because I did not want to be sent home again. I did not want to be treated like that again. So about 2 weeks ago, I had an appointment with a counselor. And if you don't really know what a counselor is, it's basically someone who works for like the mental health industry, and you can go to them to talk about your problems and what issues you have with your mental health, and then they can determine what the best help is for you. So I booked an appointment and I met with a female counselor. She was actually quite nice. We sat down and we had quite a long talk about everything that's been going on. But unfortunately, at the end of that conversation, it didn't really go so well. What it comes down to is, she said to me, "What you're saying is that you're a little bit down or you're a little bit sad, but on the other hand, you also have a lot of great people around you that you can talk with, and you actually know very well what your problem is and what is going on, so I don't think it's serious enough to get professional help." And that just really made me feel like shit. I was sad and I was angry, but to be honest, I was also very disappointed in myself, and now I feel like, why was I disappointed in myself? But back then I just felt like I was so proud of not crying, and I was so proud of getting my story out there without being emotional and being really clear on what I needed. And I just felt like if I had cried or if I would have bawled my eyes out in front of her, then she would have taken me seriously. Which right now sounds completely insane, because you should not have to be dramatic or extreme in order to receive help. On the bright side, they did call a psychologist and passed on my story to them, and they actually said that it was definitely serious enough to be treated by them. Even though it's never really a nice thing to be needing a psychologist, I do feel very glad and very relieved that someone has taken it seriously and that I can now receive the help and the therapy that I need. The waiting list, on the other hand, is cruel, but there's not really much I can do about that. At least I am on the waiting list and I will receive the help that I need eventually. And in the meantime, if things really go bad or if I really need to talk to someone, then I can always find a different counselor. I cannot talk for the life of me when I'm doing my mascara, so excuse me for a minute. So yeah, that's what's been going on lately. I still don't really know how to feel about everything, and I also don't really know what to do with everything yet. I must say that I'm actually really proud of myself for filming this video. You have no idea how long it took for me to sit down and do this. It is now 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was actually planning to film this video at 9 o'clock this morning. I just find it so hard lately to find the energy and the motivation to do anything, to sit down and film, to go out, to see friends, to go to work, to, it's just been really hard. So yeah, I don't really know if I'm gonna regret putting all of this on the internet or sharing it with a lot of people, but On the other hand, I do feel like there has been a weight lifted off my shoulders and I can breathe a little bit more now. And you know, for me, but also for you guys, for some of the people who have been really loyally following all my content lately, I just feel like you deserve an explanation and you have the right to know what's been going on. I just want to say really quickly before I end this video that if you are struggling with your mental health like me, know that you are definitely not alone. Don't judge a book by its cover, because there are always people who seem like they do not have any problems, and I can tell you that they have problems of their own. So don't feel like you're the only one struggling, and you always have the right as a person to receive the help that you need. But please do so on your own timeline and when you feel comfortable with it. That is the most important thing in my opinion. And I want to thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you've managed to watch this video all the way through the end, because that means that you have enjoyed my very long, boring talk. So thank you, I really appreciate it. If you have anything to share on the subject, then please do so down below, and I would love to see you in the next video, whenever it will be. Bye!